good morning, you guys. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing my green, even wearing my scarf today. Um, just a little fun fact about Mrs. Simmons. My grandmother actually came and moved here from Ireland and immigrated here, and her name was Annabelle. Sound familiar? Yes, that's my daughter's name, and she was actually named after my grandmother. So today in math, what we're going to do is we are going to just look at what happens when we add these fractions that represent decimals. We'll talk about that in a second. What does that look like just when we do models? So we're going to do that today. And then tomorrow we're going to take it where what happens and what do we do here so we can add them without using a model, because that's what we really want to get to. So let's first look at our fractions that we're going to look at today. We have 3/10 and 34/100. We could write those as decimals. I'm going to use green today for St. Patrick's Day. So we could write 3/10 as a decimal, and we could also write 34/100 as a decimal, and that is what we're adding together. So to do that with models, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take this one, which is 3/10, and we're going to end up filling in our models. Since this is 3/10, we're going to use this model because it's 3 out of 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in 3 of my 10 pieces to represent 3/10. Then we're going to add it to this fraction, which is 34/100. Of course, I'm going to use my 34/100, and I'm going to use my hundredths chart to show that 34. So I am going to color in. I know that each row is 10, so I'm going to do 10, 20, another 10, which would be 30. So I did my 30, and I'm going to have 4 ones left over. So I'm going to color in that 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have 34/100. Now when I add this together, I'm going to take these and I'm going to put this into my chart over here. Now the best way that I know how to do this is I'm going to first start with my tens. So I'm going to count how many tens I have total. I have 1 10, 2 10s, 3 10s, 4, 5, 6 10s. Or I could just copy. I have 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, plus 3 more, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm not done because I have these 4 that are left over. So what I'm going to need to do, let me make sure this is all colored in. I'm going to have to color in these 4 ones that are left over. So when I finally count it out, I have 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and 4. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 64 100ths. So when I add 3/10 and 34 100ths, my final answer is 64 100ths. That's just with the models. Now I bet already you're kind of making a connection of, wait a second, if I added those decimals and I lined those decimals up, I can also get 64 100ths. True. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Now let's look at this one down here at the bottom. I have 1/10 plus 51 hundredths. Let's do the same thing. Let's first end up filling in my model for 1/10. I'm going to use blue right now. So we're going to do 1/10. That's 1/10 that I'm going to fill in. And I just filled in 1/10. Next, I'm going to fill in my chart for 51 hundredths. This is broken into 100 pieces, so I'm going to show 51 hundredths. I do that by coloring in rows of 10 to start. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then I have one left over, so I'm just going to color in that one space here and make 51 hundredths. Now I'm adding these together, so my final answer is going to be over here in this chart. Now, let's first start with how many tens that I have. I've colored in 1 10 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens total. I'm going to count it. There's 10 here, and then 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens that I'm going to need to color in. So over here, I'm going to color in 6 tens. I know this one line represents 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens. And I can show that 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Then I have this one left over. I can't forget about it. I'm going to need to take it and put it over here. So my final answer is going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 60, one left over, 61 hundredths. To add those up. Let's look at it with my decimals. Over here, my decimal is 1/10 plus 51 hundredths, and that is going to equal 61 hundredths. 61 hundredths. So I just wanted you to see it in the model form and what it looks like if we actually have to fill those in. And tomorrow we're going to take it of what happens if we need to solve this and we end up needing to have 100 as a denominator for both. So hope you're doing okay. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and hope you're wearing green. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.